Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Merkel, and with me is my co-mediator, Haley. We are certified mediators in the state of North Carolina. We studied mediation techniques while pursuing a master's in conflict management and resolution before becoming mediators. Personally, I have attended several mediation sessions as a student and have now successfully mediated 10 disputes on my own. Today, I hope to make that 11. Your case was referred to us as a courtesy of the North Carolina state court system as an alternative to official adjudication procedures. Because this is voluntary, in order for the process to begin, we need both of you to consent or all of you to consent to mediation. As a mediator, I am a neutral party to your dispute and will refrain from taking sides or acquiring a bias that will affect my suggestions. I'm here to help guide all of you using my learned techniques and past experiences so we can reach a mutually beneficial solution together that satisfies all interested parties present today. Throughout the mediation process, you continue to maintain the right to legal counsel and may take a break at any time in order to contact an attorney. As a mediator, I am prohibited from offering legal advice and cannot counsel you on your legal rights. If we are to reach an agreement today, you will be allowed to review its terms with your attorney prior to signing the contract in order to ensure your legal rights are protected. I want to emphasize that mediation is an alternative route to dispute resolution entirely outside of the court system. The information you share with me today is confidential and cannot be used against you during your trial if you were to go to one. My notes for this meeting will remain with me and are not distributed within the court. The only caveat to that is my legal obligation for mandatory reporting, which may be invoked during instances such as child abuse and domestic violence. With that being said, I will now describe how the mediation process will be conducted. First, we will have some light introductions and icebreakers by going around the room so everyone has a chance to introduce themselves in the context of the conflict. In order for mediation to be successful and remains respectful, I require that only one person speaks at a time and everyone refrains from issuing personal attacks or conducting otherwise harmful negative physical or verbal behavior, including name-calling, eye-rolling, groaning, or obnoxious sighing. After introductions have concluded, I will give everyone a chance to speak openly and freely, one by one, to share their side of the story. This part of the process will be done all together in the same room so everyone has a chance to hear each other's side of the story. It is absolutely crucial that we respect one another at this point in the process and remain silent while others are speaking. After everyone has shared their side of the story, we will go around the room again and have everyone offer their preferred or proposed solution to the conflict so we can brainstorm possible satisfactory outcomes together. After we have done this, we have the option to break into smaller groups or caucuses so all participants have the opportunity to share any additional details with me that they feel are germane to this dispute if myself and Haley deem this to be necessary. Once everyone has had the chance to share their grievances both publicly to the group and privately to me, if necessary, we will reconvene together again to finish the process where we will begin pursuing solutions. Lastly, I would like to establish some ground rules and orders of housekeeping. Mediation can be an exciting and beneficial process, but it can also be exhausting at times. All participants are, of course, permitted to take bathroom or water breaks at any time. Because of the nature of the process, I schedule mandatory breaks at least once an hour with the possibility of inserting additional breaks as necessary. Additionally, I permit only 3 hours for each session in order to keep everyone fresh and mentally present. If we do not reach a solution within 3 hours, we will set another date to continue the mediation and wait until then to proceed. Now that I have introduced myself, my co-mediator, and the mediation process and ground rules, are there any questions? No. Would you all like to begin mediation?
Yeah, that sounds agreeable.
Yes.
Sure.
Perfect.
Hi guys, I'm Haley. I'm going to be co-mediating this meeting. Now that we're ready to begin the process, would everyone like to go around and introduce themselves and their side of the issue?
Yeah. So my name is Kevin. This past year, I decided to get a puppy. Cynthia agreed to living with the new pet. After a short time, Cynthia insisted that she move her own couch into the house and move mine out. Furthermore, she also agreed to allow my puppy on the couch. One night when we got back, we found that the puppy had chewed a little bit of the arm of the couch. And then also, Cynthia repeatedly borrowed my limited edition Bud Light Lime bike this semester after she broke her own, and she never locked it up on campus. She ended up getting it stolen, and now it's absolutely irreplaceable.
Hi, my name is Cynthia, and I did agree with for Kevin to move the puppy in. I did, want it to be on the couch. I did agree that it would be okay, but the couch is irreplaceable, and I do have a cat also that he agreed it was okay to live with. But I just think that the couch means so much to me, and the puppy got on the couch and just kind of ripped the arm of the couch totally, and it's just irreplaceable. And the only reason why I borrowed the bike is because he said that I could use the bike. So that's it.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris. I am Cynthia's mom. Quite frankly, I think it's ridiculous that we're sitting here, but we're here. And hopefully Kevin will agree to compensate us for this couch. And that's why we are here.
I'm sorry, Kevin, I'm just going to have to go ahead and ask that you refrain from making any negative facial expressions as we had discussed in the introduction. I apologize for interrupting, Chris. I just want to make sure that we all remain respectful of one another. Did anybody else have anything in addition to share?
Yeah, the couch just really meant a lot to me, and I just would have thought that the puppy would have just, wouldn't have tore it up like that. And Kevin didn't even seem to really care about, how I felt about the couch.
Just
Okay.
a couch. It can be replaced.
Okay, Kevin.
The-
I think that concludes. If we don't have any new pertinent information to share, I think that concludes our introductions, and we can go ahead and start the mediation.
Okay, guys, so we're just going to start by just going over the conflict, how I'm understanding it. So, Kevin, you brought in a puppy, and that dog chewed up a portion of Cynthia's couch.
Yeah, one of the arms.
Okay, and Cynthia used your really nice, unique bike, and it got stolen.
Yes, she did, because she was irresponsible.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, Cynthia, Kevin, we're going to refrain from using that type of language right now. We're just going over.
I'm not derogating her. The act was irresponsible. You don't lock a bike up. That's
inappropriate language.
Clarify what the issues are. So, and then Cynthia, the couch holds a lot of sentimental value for you.
Yes.
So you would like to be reimbursed for the repair or for the couch.
I just want to fix. I want my couch back like it was.
Okay, and you would like the money back, Kevin, for the bike that was stolen.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
So I understand the conflict. Is there anything you guys would like to add?
I mean, she wants an absolutely egregious amount for this couch.
It means a lot to me.
Who has a
Okay.
couch that means a lot?
Let's I think what we're going to do next, as we discussed in the introduction, is refraining from insults and remaining respectful towards the other person, starting with Kevin, then Cynthia, and finally going to Chris, are just going to discuss if you were to have your ideal solution to this conflict. Trying to be fair if you can, recognizing that both of you have lost something that's important and contains sentimental value. But if each of you just want to state, if at the end of this mediation, it's really important that you got this, and if everything went your way, this is how it would happen. I want to reiterate that while we do this, there will not be commentary from the other parties, positively or negatively, commenting on that. We will get to your concerns, but just to hear what the other side wants, we're going to start there. Okay? Kevin, would you like to start?
I mean, the fact of the matter is, her couch can be repaired.
All you had to do was watch your puppy.
Okay, Cynthia.
Yes.
We're just gonna and Kevin, don't get off track. Just if plainly and simply stated, you want X dollars, you want an apology, you want something fixed, you want her to go out and find a new bike for you, whatever. Just plainly stated, if you were to get like a signed agreement for this and this to happen, what would it look like to you?
Well, we're both adults, and I would love to have this bee of a mom out of this mediation because we're both adults.
Why are you talking about my mom?
Okay, I've heard enough. I've heard enough from these children. Okay, these children can just shut up.
Excuse
and just
me,
Mr.
Right,
Adult.
we're gonna calm down. All right, everybody,
Yeah.
just take a second. We are going to refrain from using any negative language here. No euphemisms, Kevin. That was inappropriate.
Yes.
Okay. if we want Cynthia, just a second, we're going to respect each other talking. Kevin is going first. Kevin, if you cannot give us
Okay,
no eye rolling. If you cannot give us a solution simply stated to what you think the problem is here, then we're going to move on and come back to you. Okay?
Okay. So I guess I just want for my bike, I want what I paid for it. That would be, it's worth more than that. And if you look it up online, it's worth 2 to 3 times more than what I paid for it. But I guess what's fair would be for them to give me what I paid for it. And I'm not paying $7,000 to get you a new irreplaceable couch. Like you said, it's not going to be a thing that is the same sentimental value as what you had. So I guess we could repair it.
All right. Hey, Kevin, thank you. We're going to move on. Cynthia, again, just keep it to what your ideal solution would be.
I just want my couch fixed.
Cynthia, I'll take care of this, honey.
Yes,
I'll take care of this.
fine.
Okay, let's just break this down. I want my couch either fixed or on a new couch. Okay, I don't care about your stolen bike. That's your own problem. You're the irresponsible one, Mr. Adult, who couldn't lock up his
Your
puppy.
daughter
or keep his
agreed
puppy.
to this.
So I want a new couch or I want the couch fixed.
No, your
Done
daughter
deal.
agreed to this. Your
Done
daughter's
deal.
an adult. She's acting like a child, but she's
Going
an
over
adult,
the
so
issue.
we're going to
I'm
treat her like
not.
one.
Okay. All right. We're going to call Haley. I think.
Yeah, I think we should probably go ahead and call a caucus, and we'll just speak to you guys separately and try to come to a solution, and we'll come back together. Okay.
Fine.
Fine.
Let's do Cynthia and Chris will speak to you first. Kevin, if you wouldn't mind giving us a few minutes, and then we'll call you back in.
So guys, can you just state what your ideal, I think that we should go over again what your ideal, what do you want out of this mediation? What would be your ideal solution to this
I want
conflict?
my couch fixed.
Okay, so when you say you want your couch fixed,
It can't be replaced.
right. Part of the problem is, so I do you feel that Kevin is owed anything here for the bike?
It was a mistake. I didn't mean to do it.
Let me jump in here, just so we can clarify everything and let the children decide on the bike. You know, if you wanna pay Kevin for his bike, then that's on your money. That's on you. But the overall picture here is this couch. I either want a new couch for my daughter, or I want Kevin to fix the couch. The bike issue is separate. That's on you, and I'm talking to you, Cynthia. That's if you want to pay him $75 or whatever they paid for the bike, that's coming out of your money. But for the overall outcome, I want a new couch, or I want the couch to be fixed.
Okay, so I'm hearing, so Chris, as far as you're concerned, the only issue here is the couch.
Right.
Sounds like the ideal solution is going to be you want this couch back, and throwing money at it isn't going to fix it. So the $7,000 claim earlier is kind of, I know that seems to be a major point of contention for Kevin. So we can kind of move past that we're not really seeking $7,000 anyway. We're seeking a repair for the couch. Now,
Right.
Yes.
okay. I guess, and Cynthia, are you willing to pursue
I'll pay him
negotiate the
money.
discussion about the bike?
It was my fault. I guess I should have locked it up. So Mom, I think I should just pay him the $75 and call it a day. I just want it to be over with, and I just want my couch back.
Okay.
Okay. If y'all don't mind, Haley, does that satisfy you for this caucus?
Yeah, I think that's.
Y'all don't mind giving us a minute? We're going to go ahead and call Kevin back into the room.
Sure.
Kevin, are you with us?
Hey guys, I'm still here.
Okay. So if you just want to kind of let it out and give us your perspective of this and what specifically you're seeking from them.
Well, I mean, it's absolutely insane. First of all, we're both adults. Like we are renters in a house, we're housemates, and she went and she got her mother to come threaten to sue me. And for $7,000 worth of a couch, that was a ratty couch. Like, I get that it has sentimental value to you, but you can't ask for $7,000 for an old couch like that. Like I said, I'm fine repairing it if we find a reasonable repair. Like, but in the same breath, she agreed to let the dog on the couch, and she agreed to get the puppy with me in the first place. And she has a cat, and her cat has made an absolute mess of her room, and she didn't clean it up. And so her mother even wanted me to give the security deposit back for her room, and that's absolutely insane. No.
Okay, so it sounds like you're presenting another issue here about a security deposit. Has the landlord dealt with this at all?
No, but I kind of act as the landlord. I mean, I'm in charge of everything.
Okay.
I report directly to the landlord. So, like, it's on me. I know she didn't sign anything, but still.
Do you have proof of any of the damage?
Yeah, I mean, there's actual cat litter all over her floor. It's in the carpet. It's ground in. It's not coming out without some serious equipment.
So what is your solution to that issue?
Well, I'm certainly not giving her security deposit back. It needs to be cleaned.
Is there still a chance for her to clean it, or has somebody else?
I mean, she could clean it. I'm just not cleaning it, and I'm not paying for somebody to professionally clean this to appease our landlord.
Okay.
How does this factor in with the bike issue that we went over earlier? And how would you be willing to interchange those two, the cost of those two? What would you?
Well, I mean, I'm really not trying to be mean about it, but I mean, she's an adult. It goes back to that, and she needs to take responsibility for this. She's getting her mom to fight her battles for her as a 20-something-year-old, and that just blows my mind. So I guess it really just goes back to taking responsibility for your actions and being an adult, which she hasn't.
So price wise, what would your solution be for getting the money back in regards to the security deposit and in regards to the bike? Would those be something? What do you think you would propose for that?
I mean, as long as she's got her cat's mess in there, I'm on the hook for a security deposit, but I get that that's not really what we're talking about today. So with the bike, I mean, it's really worth like 2 or 3 times what I paid for it, and I'll never get it back. I can show you where I've looked and we've searched and you can't find them anywhere. It was a limited edition bike, but I paid $75 for it. So at the end of the day, it's incredibly annoying that she was so irresponsible to do that, but I think that $75 would cover it for me.
Is your holding of the security deposit, does that have anything to do with the bike issue?
No, it's been totally separate from the bike issue. This is something that is just, it's also weighing on me, and she's also really she should be on the hook for this, even though she didn't sign anything for it. But she shouldn't have had a cat either, because she didn't pay the pet deposit. And if I'm on the hook for this because she agreed, then she should be on the hook, even though I agreed to let her have her cat.
So her getting the security deposit is contingent upon her coming in and cleaning, whether she comes in and cleans and fixes the mess.
Yeah, I mean, she really needs to come and clean it. I mean, she hasn't even taken responsibility for either of those things, and she needs to.
So if she were to come and clean it, you would get back the security deposit, and that would be a separate issue from the bike issue.
Yeah, I guess that is a separate issue from the bike issue.
Okay.
Okay. Kevin, would you mind giving us a minute?
Yeah.
All right. Haley, before we call all of them back into the room, I think something that we're going to have to decide here is whether or not to address both issues today of the security deposit and the couch bike problem, or if we should schedule another mediation for the legal issue with the security deposit to separate them. Do you think that we can handle all of them today, or do you think that, what's your opinion on that?
I think the mother seems to just want to focus on the couch issue and not even factor in the bike issue. So I think if we added something, a third factor, I think that's going to be a little much. I don't know if we'll be able to come to a resolution for all three. What do you think?
I think that's probably good. It sounds to me like these are two separate things, and maybe putting them together is just gonna complicate it further. Let's say we call them back in. We make Chris and Cynthia aware of this other issue, curb it at that, and then schedule another mediation, and then just target the couch bike issue today.
Right. I think that's going to be a good plan.
Okay. I'll go call Chris and Cynthia and Kevin all back into the room. All right. So Haley and I have had the chance to hear both of your sides at this point. It has come to our attention that this issue is a little bit more complicated and involves another element. We found that there's an issue about the cat being in the house, and some discrepancy over whether the full security deposit should be returned.
You've got to be kidding
Were
me.
you, Chris, I'm going to ask you to refrain from commenting. Cynthia, were you aware of this at all?
That
I mean,
wouldn't-
you haven't received your security deposit back after moving out.
well, I thought it would take some time, but I thought I would get it back.
Okay.
I wasn't told that I wasn't getting it back.
There's a little bit of an issue from Kevin's perspective over how the conditions that the room were left in. However, so he's interested in discussing that. Because of the complexity of this issue, Haley and I would like to ask if it's okay that we go ahead and schedule an additional mediation in the future to tackle that issue. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess.
Let's go ahead and say we'll do a week from today. So April 5th, the same time, we'll do 6 p.m. Does that work for everybody?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure, and I'll have Fred, our family attorney, alongside with us too.
No, you won't.
What about my couch?
We're going to, Haley.
Yeah, that's really what we're going to be focusing on today. I think that we're just trying to move, because these are separate issues and it's just so complicated, and we want to get a resolution to this today. We want to go ahead and schedule a separate meeting and get that out of the way, and then we'll move on to resolving the couch issue and the mic issue.
On April 5th, we're going to go ahead and talk about that. I would like to refocus your attention today to the couch bike issue, which is what the remainder of this session is going to be focused on finding a solution for. Kevin has agreed that, and both sides, that we are not going to let the separate issue, which we have agreed is distinct from this, of the security deposit and the cat affect the couch bike situation. Can we all agree?
Yes.
Okay. So for Haley and I, it sounded in breaking into our caucuses that this is a very sentimental issue for both of you. You had a special piece of property that wasn't just a bike or a couch that was acquired from somewhere. You both have sort of an attachment to it that it's going to be difficult for money alone to solve. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. It sounded like both of us had come to some sort of solution. The way that Haley and I understood it was that Kevin is seeking some type of monetary compensation for the loss of his bike, comparable to what he paid for it. And Cynthia is seeking a repair for the couch. Are both of those what we agreed to in our caucuses, as we understand it?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the lowest I'll go.
Okay. Let's start with Cynthia. Do you have, how could we approach the issue of fixing the couch? What would be acceptable to you and considered a fixed couch?
I don't need the whole couch reupholstered, but I want the arm fixed. I mean, it's shredded. So, I mean, if he can fix it to look like the other end of the couch, I would be satisfied.
Okay. Kevin, is fixing it to the other, did you have any plans to fix it, or a type of a proposed solution in order to, is that something that you feel like you can work with?
Yeah, I mean, I can fix it if I just get the materials, I guess.
Are you willing to pay for the materials, or are you asking that they pay for the materials?
I mean, I'm not paying for, like, I'll pay to fix it, I guess, but I'm not paying any crazy amount of money to fix this couch. Because she agreed to have the dog up there. Like, she
Okay.
agreed.
Okay. Let's come to an agreement about a cap or a reasonable amount of money that we feel like can be spent on fixing the couch, not to exceed the market value of the entirety of the couch. But has anybody looked into a cost of materials?
Yeah, so I'll be nice and
I'm sure
just
Mrs.
lower
Cynthia's
it to
mom has.
right. So I'll be nice and just lower it to $6,000.
Get out of here.
I mean,
I
I'm
think
doing
that
you
we
a
probably-
favor here.
I
Mom.
think that we probably know that that the repair, we can safely say that the repair is not going to cost that much. Maybe the entirety of the couch, but what we need to look at is maybe getting a repair appraised and trying to figure out how would you guys approach doing that? Do you have any ideas for how you would get an idea for how much that would cost?
No, I don't know anything about couches.
Okay. So I don't know the specifics of this couch. I do, Chris, want to remind you that the solution that it seems that Cynthia and Kevin have agreed to is a repair for the couch and not a monetary exchange. Would we agree to having a third party appraiser examine the couch, determine a value of it, and then we can either have that amount paid from Kevin to Cynthia, or that is the maximum amount that Kevin will spend on repairing the couch. Does that sound sufficient?
I mean, sort of. I'm still hung up on this. She's not even taking responsibility for it. Like, yeah, my dog did it, but she allowed the dog on the couch. Dogs chew things sometimes.
Okay.
In that same sense, then my daughter shouldn't be held responsible for your bike being stolen. She didn't ask somebody to steal the
It sounds
bike.
like we're regressing here. We had come to a decision that we were both owed something, and I think that we should stick to that. At the end of the day, both of us have lost to some extent a level of personal property that's important to us. So let's stick to that. Would we agree to finding a third party individual to appraise the value of the couch as it was, and then invest that money into repairing it? Cynthia, would that be acceptable for you?
Yes.
Kevin, would that be acceptable for you?
Yeah.
Chris, does that
Cool.
sound like an acceptable solution? Okay.
We can do that.
We have a couple of individuals that we have dealt with before from the mediation office. We can go ahead and draft a proposal to that. And the agreement for the couch will be set that we'll have this person look at it. They'll determine a value. That value will be spent on repairs and not more. and then the couch will be returned to Cynthia. Do we think that that's an acceptable solution?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, I just want it over.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and draft up as far as the couch issue, an agreement for that. And then now we can move on to the bike. So the bike is, from what I understand, missing, so it's irreparable. So we're looking for some type of exchange for this missing bike. Kevin, do you have a proof of purchase for this bike, or do you have an amount in mind that you're asking for?
$75.
Okay. Cynthia, would you be willing to pay the $75 knowing that Chris is going to take care, the couch issue has been handled, just focusing on the bike? Would you be willing to pay the $75 for the bike?
Yes, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I also need an apology. She hasn't even owned up to it yet.
Well, you didn't.
You're lucky you're
apologize
even
for
getting
now.
money. You're lucky.
Okay. Let's not be rude here. Cynthia, would you be willing to acknowledge that? Would you be willing to issue an apology and acknowledge that the bike was lost under your supervision?
If he would be willing to apologize about the puppy tearing up my couch.
That's right.
Okay, so it sounds like we're both a little hurt personally here. Again, these are both sentimental objects.
Yeah.
I think we could both agree that prior to signing this agreement, or as part of the agreement, we apologize to one another for the damages that we have caused. Is that an agreeable solution?
That's fine. Yeah, I'm an adult, and
Okay, that's
I'm
that was
absolutely
an
taking
attack.
responsibility for.
We don't need to degrade a genuine apology. Just recognize what had
Sounds petty
happened.
to me, but yes. So,
Of course, I'm sorry that my dog chewed up the couch.
Cynthia, was that an acceptable apology to you?
sound a little bit sarcastic to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll wait till we hear yours. So.
Well, you could try
And
again.
your mother's.
Kevin,
try
okay, I'm going to ask if you're capable. We agreed that we would exchange genuine apologies.
Okay. Yes, I didn't obviously mean for the dog to chew up the couch. I am sorry. I of course, I didn't know at the time how sentimental it was. So I'm sorry that your property that was so sentimental got destroyed.
Cynthia, was that an acceptable apology for you?
Well, it was better, but I'll accept it.
Okay. And can you apologize to Kevin for the loss of the bike?
Well, you did let me use it, and I guess I should have been a little bit more careful with it. But I'm sorry your bike got stolen.
Okay. Kevin, was that acceptable for you?
Yeah.
All right. It looks like now that we've exchanged apologies, we're going to go ahead and draft up an agreement to appraise the couch, have that amount spent on repairs. The agreement will include Cynthia exchanging or giving $75 to Kevin for the bike. Those two transactions will be covered. And then at the bottom, we will also cover that we plan to meet again a week from today, April 5th at 6 p.m. Does that work for everybody?
Sounds agreeable.
Yes, works for me.
Okay, it looks like that's the conclusion of this mediation session. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.